Anything about Sellers?
Kid with a French last name, Monceau or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
Let's talk about Star Pizza.
Star Pizza. What about some Star Pizza? I'm looking at the ESPN2, and TCU is storming the court on Texas Tech in the highlights. Not
There
a
was some
great
carnage
night.
around the conference tonight.
Kansas, I'm here for you if you want to talk.
Yeah. God, I love watching that. I mean, like, you get to see a Titanic sink every single week. That's badass.
They went to Utah and had, who has ever had a worse week in Utah than they have?
I mean, they just got teabagged by the entire state.
Kansas State lost
Dip.
at Utah yesterday, right?
Dip.
So, okay, we don't need to see that. No teabagging.
Dip.
Cougars win. Okay, here's Galen with actual internet.
Correct.
Check this fella out. Welcome to the show, Mr. Robinson.
He's out. He doesn't know what he's doing. Brad, give us your thoughts on what you saw tonight.
Man, I'm telling you, we've had some really, really good wins this year. But this might be one of my favorite wins because this is a classy win. This is a professional win. This is what great teams do. They had every chance and every reason to come in here and drag ass and make this an overtime thriller and hope to get out alive. But they came in and jumped up and got straight to business. They looked like the team. They look like the team that's dialed in and focused and ready to make a strong charge to the end of this conference season. I was just really impressed. Good to see a lot of movement on defense, a lot of intensity on defense. They were working real hard on offense. A lot of guys were moving without the ball. A lot of penetration and getting to the paint and really opening things up. And it was nice to see E-Man back in the second half.
You said it was a classy win. What do you mean?
It was a classy win because this is one where it's real. I mean, we're coming off we just beat Arizona State's daddy this weekend. Okay. And then we're looking forward to Iowa State where we got game day. We got a fairly short turnaround going home from Arizona and then back to Arizona. So we got kind of 2x travel. This stage was set for a mental letdown. It'd be real easy to kind of coast through that. But these guys went out like pros and they took care of their business. I mean, they didn't let circumstances kind of get to them. They knew what they needed to do. They went out and they executed. They did it with a high level of intensity and a high level of execution.
Hello, Galen.
What's good, man?
What did you think about what you saw tonight?
I had two little pregame notes, and it was basically Los continuing to stack games and, kind of his aggression and how he dictates the offense, and it was and I said big game to get E-Man back on track. And the first play was like, yeah, I think it was the first play. ATO kind of got disrupted, and he was able to get to the free throw line, and I was just like, off to a good start. And then come second half, he's raining threes, looking like his old self. And it was kind of crazy how it was a bunch of looks, potential looks that he had in the first half that he shot, fake, and drove. And those are usually shots that he shoots.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it was glad to see that, once he saw the first one go through the hoop, he wasn't trigger shy no more. He was letting it fly. So glad to see him back on track. And also just with Malik was, solid. Big J Francis solid. Big One solid. It was just LJ just smooth criminal. It looked like all of our guys, they played to who they were. And that's a sign of a mature team.
Remember people nitpicking, traveling back to Houston, not staying in Arizona? Pepperidge Farms remembers. Actually, U of H is going to fly home, stay a night here, and then fly back to Arizona to prep for Iowa State. Not a lot of people have that, but we're reporting that first. SVP is slobbering all over us.
No, don't say that now. We got to play
Van
victim.
Pelt.
They only talk about ESPN only talks about the SEC. Come on now.
Well, they do love them some SEC, and we can talk about that because they've got 3-10 Oklahoma in the tournament, which
hey, you know what
pisses me off so much.
Yes, they are. They are just slow stroking the SEC this year. But in basketball, the SEC has earned it.
Somewhat.
They have been top to bottom best this year. So sad. But see, the thing is that they were doing this to the Big 12 last year.
Okay, but
we're all over us last year.
Fourth place in the SEC is 8-4, I think. Okay. It's just not. It's not elite.
Ryan, he did.
The Big 12 has an elite.
What? He did say top to bottom.
Yeah, but who gives a shit about the bottom? I mean, they're going to put 13 teams in.
If your bottom is further down, that means you know.
I mean, the top of the SEC is Auburn, Alabama, and Florida. Those are three of the best teams in the country.
Okay, that's fine. But
in the guys
after you get past those three, you're at Missouri and Tennessee, who's I don't know.
See,
anyways, we don't need to talk about the SEC 5 minutes into this show.
I mean, fucking BYU is 5th right now. In ours.
Watch your mouth. Yeah.
Come on. What was that all about? What you mean?
I ain't Bobby Early, brother. You not playing. I ain't get that.
I don't do this very often. I just don't like anything about that ASU program. Everything about him pisses me off. Bobby Hurley pisses me off. That shirt, they've been doing guard you for about 7 or 8 years.
Have they put any guards in the league?
Well, I don't care about going to the league. I care about what have you.
Well, I mean, if you're guard
I think Lou Dort, and I think he was 2019.
Okay.
2020 maybe. Yeah, so it's been a minute for the University of Guards to put a guard in. Yeah.
I mean, the only thing I know about Arizona State is people leave there to go play and have success.
James Harden went there, but since him, I don't know
James
anybody.
Harden wound up here and starts looking exactly like me.
Yeah. Not quite, but yeah.
Tons of fun. It's got a better beard.
I just don't understand the whole. Anyways, they had a couple of guards that had nice nights, but I that shirt wearing it in this, you don't get a lot of big time games on ESPN or ESPN2. I don't know if I'd be wearing that right now.
I mean,
But go ahead.
As far as big time pro or big programs go, is there anyone who could hold a head coaching job as long as Bobby Hurley has and only make 3 tournaments? And one of
Johnny
those,
Dawkins.
One of those is a first 4. But Johnny Dawkins at least was coaching in the AAC.
It's a different goal. Yeah, it's a different goal.
Yeah.
It's like
I thought it was only one.
Was the Pac-12 that much better than the AAC? I don't know.
According to the metrics and Bill Walton.
I mean, they had Bill Walton stone on the sideline.
So
I don't know.
I don't. Towns, you sure he went to 3 tournaments though?
Yeah, well, he went to the first 4, and then he's out in the first round. So yeah, I mean, you blink, you miss him.
Yeah, I wouldn't even.
I mean, didn't he? I guess he had. Didn't he have his point guard was there for 4 years, and he went to Kansas and then won a national title at Kansas? Am I thinking of the right guy?
I don't know about that one.
Kelvin said on setting a Big 12 record for consecutive road wins, 12, unbelievable accomplishment, which it really is. That doesn't happen. Nobody does that. And nobody has done that. So,
Remy Martin.
Remy
That's
Martin.
exactly what I'm thinking of.
Remy Martin. They won the Natty that year?
Yeah. Remy Martin moved. I just remember him being a big name transfer, and he was just kind of mediocre in the regular season, and then the postseason, it's like that dude just went on fire.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that program's that program's struggling, and Bobby Hurley is trash.
The crazy part about it is that program actually has a ton of potential.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
People love that school, and I heard it's like a college type atmosphere, college town.
Yes.
Everything. Yeah. So it's like I don't
just
see how
walking smoke show on campus.
Yeah.
I mean, you're in the Phoenix metro area, and you still have that college town vibe.
Yes, 2 birds, 1 stone.
Arizona State women are supposedly way better than Arizona. And I'm going to tell you that Arizona, we walked out of the arena Saturday, and there's a little green area right outside it. And 4 of the 10 hottest women I've ever seen in my entire life were just doing jumping jacks and shit in this green area. I'm like, holy, what is happening? And it was 55 degrees, and they're in the little short shorts. Just
right. And
exercise.
if U of H baseball plays at Arizona State, I recommend going there for a weekend.
I'm going for football. So I'm looking forward to that in the fall. Malik was the X factor. JVR went 6 of 6 from the line.
You know what? I
Fun
think
to hear Coach rip E-Man a new one on the stream. Go ahead with what you had.
JVR's his 6 free throws. I guess it's 3 times to the free throw line. I'm not working at math.
Yeah.
That took more time in real time minutes than his actual minutes logged on the court.
What are you saying?
He's saying that his free throw routine is as long as Giannis's.
Get those big elbows out.
Well, that, and then he fouls so much that he gets 10 minutes a game.
But it's hey, at least he's shooting those free throws with confidence. It's no doubt his routine is consistent, and it's just it's kind of a luxury for Coach Sampson to have JoJo and Big J at the 5, because if one gets in foul trouble, it's they're the same guy. Who else has a guy who? I meant
Yeah.
like in terms of length and athleticism,
Yeah.
they're pretty much the same guy. So it's like who else has that level of luxury to where you go to your bench and your athleticism might fuck around and take a leap, you
And
know?
you can
So
get almost 18 minutes a game out of them. So
man,
Out of the
that
two of them.
helps. Yeah.
But I'll tell you this, man. And whenever I see those two guys just out there, just threshing people, I look over and I see Big Set on the bench. I'm not really worried about him coming in. I think I have full confidence he'll come in and do a job.
yeah. His physicality and activity alone. Granted, he might be lost to shit, but he gonna do exactly what you tell him.
Exactly. He's going to get some rebounds. He's going to. I'll tell you what, ain't nobody backing that kid down in the post.
Yeah. Said,
I don't
if
know.
he got the ball, go take it from him. Say, yes, sir. Take that shit from him.
Malik's energy was great tonight. Who was worse tonight, Tugler or Arsenault? Well, I think this is an incomplete because you saw Tugler for about 9 seconds before he fouled out.
That was crazy.
There's two offensive fouls there in the second half.
36 was probably off the charts because he's like the first it was like the first couple of possessions in the first half. I think he scored like 4 points in like a minute and some change before he got 2. And then when he got in to start the second half, I think Coach Sam ran a play for him and he scored. That was his. So I think his points per 36 was pretty, astronomical. But yeah, we our bigs, they gotta have better discernment. Like because that can come and bite you in the ass, and you don't want that to bite you in the ass when it's no tomorrow. So
And
they gotta have better with that.
They're not necessary fouls. They were all kind of. One of them I thought was kind of weak.
Yeah, definitely.
But
definitely.
none of them were fouls where he was doing his job, and his job is protecting the paint. And so if he got 5 fouls where he's slamming dudes through the floor on shots, okay, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But moving screens, reaching in, come on, that
just be silent.
You have to have better basketball IQ.
It's been kind of funny. It's a funny little meme, but we're starting to get into real games, and money's on the table right now, and the money's going to just stack more and more. And you can't have a guy that you have in your 6-man, 7-man rotation where you don't know if he's going to play 8 minutes tonight or if he's going to play 22. And the fact that 22 minutes, getting 22 minutes out of JoJo feels like an accomplishment is telling you how much of a problem this has become.
Yeah.
I mean, we're at the point now he's played over 50 Division I games. Okay. He's not inexperienced. He's got to get it in check because we're past the point of just being out of control. Now we're getting into decision making. And so since the decision making is showing it to be a problem, he needs to really dial that in. And I would rather him be 15% less effective if he can play 30% more minutes.
Yeah. Oh. I think there just needs to be a couple of practices where, because our coaching staff, to kind of emphasize our aggression on defense when we're going live, they might let certain fouls go. With JoJo, anytime his hand, like, y'all ever seen a rebound when Martin had to put the icy holiday on, like, keep your hands up. It's like anytime you reach, you run into suicide. I need them big ass 8 foot wide. I need them straight up because we need you on the floor, man. So yeah, you're at the point now. It's like you got to start turning that curve for sure.
Yeah,
because I mean, if he can, his ceiling is only limited by himself.
Man,
if he can play 30 minutes a game,
if he could stay on the man,
this kid's going to be phenomenal.
Man, I just knew once you got that first one so early, I'm like, man, that second one ain't far behind.
So, I mean,
it was 18 seconds.
Yeah.
his
So,
production
I didn't
per
want to be
40,
right.
his production per 40 in almost all stats are just mind-boggling. But then again, is it mind-boggling because he only plays 20 minutes a game?
If that, shit.
Galen, show us that hoodie.
Just
Houston.
Yeah, just some light shit.
That's...
But actually, let me show y'all what I got on my seat though. Hold on.
I don't. Okay, now we're going back old school.
Oh yeah. I got my
Couple
shit
years
on
ago.
with me, man. Absolutely.
Galen went and delivered hoodies to our contest winners from Saturday.
That's elite.
Delivered to me
shit.
as well. Brad, I have yours. We're covering all the plants, for the freeze with yours.
Think you were wearing mine.
Yeah. No. Not wearing
Ryan,
yours.
you're so full of shit, dog.
What? I just...
You said covering the plants. That's funny.
Yeah. Big J shoots all technicals from now on. I think that's smart. I think that's where you should be going. Star Pizza.
Star Pizza.
I think we broke Kansas. They is broke.
I want to say that, but Kansas, I mean, remember, they did the exact same thing last year. They just opened up a giant
can of
40-ounce can of Quit. Four Loco style can of Quit.
I think I saw something to where Texas Tech is kind of like a double-edged sword. You beat us because you know how good we are, and it caused you to light up on your guard. And we beat your ass, and it's like, damn, that was the ass whooping like we ain't never had. So it's like, it's kind of crazy how that works. But to see how easily we handle BYU and see a team like Kansas go there and have that type of performance, that is indicative of the Big 12, because like Coach Sampson says, it's like, man, there's no such thing as an upset in this conference, regardless of where you're playing at, because any team is talented enough to beat you. So you always got to show up ready to play.
And I think that it is U of H beat BYU in Houston. Kansas went to BYU. That's mainly the difference. But then Houston's won 12 road games in a row. So they're out there. You can go win them. But the only team that's doing that really is Houston. I think Tech is now 5-2. U of H is 8-0. Okay.
Yeah.
And you're to the point in the season now where there's a magic number. You're up 2 games on Arizona. You're up 3 games on Tech with 5 to play. You could eliminate Tech. They could be eliminated Saturday. They could be eliminated when you go there Monday. And then it's just Arizona and Houston.
That ass whooping, man.
But U of H has to take care of business against Iowa State.
For sure.
Here, while we're still somewhat fresh on the JoJo topic. Galen, with the discussion about Tugler, what would CKS do in practice to get guys to play smarter?
That 94 square foot of rectangular wood, whatever he said, whatever the quote is, that baseline to baseline, Coach Sampson gets real creative with that amount of space and time. It's like he just thinks of new shit to make running just more difficult. So yeah, he'll use running as a medium to get how serious he is across to you. And if you're smart, it'll work.
Okay.
I'll never forget, Ryan. I'll never forget my freshman year. Granted, I'm the only freshman. It's nothing but seniors and junior, all upper class. I'm the smallest guy on the team. And I think I forget what I was doing, but I kept fucking up. He was like, Galen, you watch. Everybody else is going to run. I was like, Coach, no. Please, they're going to beat my ass.
That's rough.
I was like, Coach, no. Man, he made them dudes run, and I felt so bad.
Get that code red.
Man,
make you sit in a recliner right in the middle.
That is the worst feeling ever. Like, Man,
When they're running, what are you doing? Are you standing? Are you sitting?
you're trying to just be like there's no right thing to do because anything you do it can be deemed as wrong. It's like shut the fuck
Oh,
like it's like bro.
I would
Man, that was a
like
very bad. That was bad.
like Towns just said. I would make you sit in a chair and bring another chair for you to put your feet up. Make sure that you look so comfortable as those guys are running. Just
I guarantee that guy that's sitting down, whatever those guys are running for, he will never make that mistake again.
accurate. Yeah. So speaking of, you said you're the littlest guy. They had a guy who scored on LJ, and I don't even remember who it was, but he's 6'6". He scored over LJ, who's 6'1", and dude did the too small thing. First off,
Yeah.
Juwan has to reclaim that. If everybody else is going to do it, he should be able to do it.
Yeah.
And second, if you're scoring over a guy who's 5 inches shorter than you,
He is.
you're not too small. You're not too small. You're
I mean, it's like he's too small. Like it's like it's kind of like he's too small. We see that. Why are you doing it?
yeah.
It's like
Everything about that program pisses me off.
Well, and
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
also getting your ass kicked at
Yeah.
home.
I think
You're down by
they said on the
You're down by 16. It's like, hey,
yeah.
nice.
I think they said like a guy hit a 3 and did a celebration, and he was
Yeah.
like, "Bro, have some discernment. It's not the time to be doing it right now."
U of H was playing a football game, and this has to be 20 years ago, and Towns and I were together, probably drunk, and U of H is down.
That was a Kansas game,
20,
right?
It was a football game.
Was
it
at
Kansas?
Kansas. It was the bowl game.
The bowl game in Fort Worth, so that had been 2005, and you're down 30 points or something, and U of H guys are doing throat slit motions after a sack. Like, what is wrong with you? You're down 30
They needed to
on a
stick
6
6-6 team. Yeah,
or like in baseball, it's doing a bat flip when you're getting run ruled.
yeah. Woo!
Man.
Idiots. The first 15 minutes of that broadcast were all about hiking and ice cream and modeling.
They had the two dudes that were the
Yeah.
models.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
damn, what were they modeling at Oak Tree back in 1987?
That's the fashion towns. It was Austin Mason, who was Jamie's head of the snake, and his
He looked
brother,
like
who I think his name was Alton.
Alton.
Look like Color Me Bad backup dancers.
He's just so racist. There's just no need for that.
not at all. That's a real band.
Every road win is a great win. I've been waiting for Juwan to develop that dream shake move. You know,
You got it.
I always
You
think
got it
about,
tonight. You see that?
you know,
He did
yeah,
that little whoop. Show it to him.
Juwan is going to have problems, legitimate problems, because of his back killing him from wearing all of those fucking rings. Oh, he didn't develop that move? Oh, no. He's now 27, 28 rebounds from 1,000.
I thought you were going to say years old.
Well, close. I think we're going on Social Security at the same time. But, yeah, I just...
1,000 boards.
Uh,
Being 6'7". That is
the
impressive.
way Hurley told his bench players to dribble it out at the end, they basically got a shot clock violation at the end of the game, down 13, 15, whatever it was. I don't know. That looked pitiful. Elite Hoodie Ryan, thank you. Had to pay for it, but it was worth it. No freebies here.
Discounts.
Javier also with 2 terrible shot clock awareness plays. One of them was an inbound with a second and a half to play, and he was 20 feet from the. Never should have gone to him. So you can't blame him on that
why
one.
the fuck did he call triple? Like you were in there with at least 8 on the clock.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the thought of, it was him not having good, I guess, recognition. But when it comes down to it, you don't put your guy in that.
Yeah, it's like
You
that's
don't.
not. Yeah,
Yes.
Nobody should be
I
passing
don't
it
think
to
I
him.
don't think either one of them was his fault, honestly. Like, or am I tripping?
No. You just don't put the ball in that guy's hands
Yeah.
in those situations.
Okay, yeah. So,
But I
call him
understand.
triple. I'm
I
like,
understand the thought.
yeah, but I'm like, man, you should have ran at least that first one. Is like you should have ran that for like to get a shooter open, like drifting to the corner for a fadeaway three, and then just getting on the rim. But I was like, why the hell did he call triple? That's J1's play.
Question, Galen. In games, do you believe in karma, as in
Absolutely.
doing the right things leads
Yeah.
to your success later on?
Absolutely.
I was thinking about that in the first half watching Emmanuel. He missed some shots, but there were at least 3 times that he took the ball to the paint and got off a pass through guys, and then we ended up scoring in those situations. He also had he had one deflection on defense, and then he had another strip that tied up for a jump ball. First half, he didn't put up any numbers, didn't do anything. And I sat there and I thought to myself, this guy's played so well in the first half and got nothing out of it. He's going to be a guy that's got to blow up. And then he finally got loose, and then all of a sudden, seal's broken.
Yeah, it's absolutely. Coach Simpson, he calls it the basketball gods rewarding you because they see, obviously they see what you're doing, they see your intent. So that's why, like for example, the game that Malik had at Kansas, that was probably a year's worth of work that allowed him to have that game.
Right.
The thing about like our program is like everybody does the work and you never know when it's going to show. You never know when it's going to be your opportunity because we're all a sprained ankle away. And it's like, given our, misfortunes with injuries in the past, you just never know whose moment or whose opportunity it can be. So everybody has to put in work and everybody has to be ready. So it's 100% the basketball guys rewarding you for doing your job because they know the job ain't easy. I mean, shit, you're already playing for Kelvin Sampson. Shit, that's hard enough. And now you're doing the right shit. It's like, man, I gotta show love to you.
Okay, I'll give him a break this time.
Yeah, I'll give you a break, brother. How do you like hard enough?
Calls it, hey, remove the lid on the basket for Sharp.
Yeah.
Leave it on for Miller. Miller still needs the lid.
Oh man, no, that shit is real, man. The basketball guys.
Yeah, I thought he really played his scoreline in the first half did not reflect how well I thought he played.
Mm-hmm.
Just with he was moving a lot without the ball and was really drawing people to him and forcing the issue.
He drew contact the first possession of the game, and he missed that first free throw. And Kelvin, they went right to Kelvin after he missed that, and it was he was
shooting 90% from the line. Fuck.
But
he ain't missed in 2025.
He actually missed a couple. I think he missed 2 in a row.
Fine, I was being facetious.
Oh, okay, fine, whatever. It's late. It's 11 o'clock.
Actually,
yeah. Anyways, but Kelvin apparently was going off. There was a play late in the game where they stayed on him for a while, and I counted 4. But whatever. And also, shout out to Kelvin when they had the kid slipped on the water on the
He was
floor.
wiping the court.
Everybody was wiping the court. Kelvin is 30 feet away, kind of pretending to wipe with his foot. Like you're not really wiping, but good for you. Good to
man, that's a bad injury. That's a bad. Whenever you fall on the court, that's happened to me a couple. Man, that comparison thing.
Not like when Sasser pulled his groin in the conference tournament. 2 years ago.
That injury can have you down for a long time. For real.
And that was in a spot where, they go out onto the court during media timeouts, and they're supposed to have people come in and wipe it down after that. And it didn't look like they did.
I don't think that wet spot was where our timeouts are, because it was like super high on the 3-point line.
But it could have been people walking away from that.
I just assumed
going
somebody
to
spilled something.
Right. Or Kelvin could have knocked it, who knows?
Yeah.
But it just, it was in a spot where it needs to, you have to be focused on it.
Yeah.
And I've noticed there's been a huge emphasis on it this year. In every game, like Arizona last week, they had 5 guys out there making sure, but didn't work today. I knew Arizona State was cooked tonight when their starting point guard was a fashion model. That might have changed the way I bet, but yeah.
Our 2-point guards drive a Lexus and a Cadillac. How are we going to win?
Like they were having what was that movie with Zoolander? It's like they were having the gasoline fight in Zoolander.
Have you seen that, Galen?
Chat knows what I'm talking about.
I don't even know.
I'm with you, Galen.
What Pounds is talking about.
No,
but I'm sure it makes sense to someone. That's what I do know. I'm willing to bet my money on that.
Yeah. I muted the broadcast. They were that bad? The guy from Baylor. What's his name, Brad?
King McClure.
King McClure.
I played against King for years, man. I'm glad.
I believe that.
Yeah.
He's terrible.
He's awful.
For real?
I'm glad for him.
He's a good baller. Terrible on the mic.
Damn. I mean, I guess I don't really be paying attention.
Why would you?
But then again, man, I'm spoiled because, I share a show with you. So,
Appreciate that, man. Unfiltered Coug Hoops talk. Don't get no better than that, man. Don't get no fucking better than that. Hey, Star Pizza. Take your ass to Star Pizza. Good people, better pizza. As Ryan would say, Star Pizza. Good people, better pizza.
They are good people.
They are good people.
They're nice people.
They're nice people.
Do it.
Shout out Big Wine, man. Get your Houston versus everybody gear on OneSubstantial.com. Yeah. Orders will close tonight. So if you're watching and you want one, don't wait.
It's time.
Don't be that person that's Galen cannot dance. It's gonna be no. I made it clear. Ends tonight. Get it while you can. I still fuck with y'all, but get it while you can.
And G1 looked like Darth Maul in that picture.
It was that's that bad lighting in that tunnel.
No, man, it's badass.
That's exactly where that was.
You got to get like a little glow in the eyes, kind of doctor that up a little bit.
That is tough.
Then you hear the pull out the saber.
How many did BYU win by? 34? Yeah, 34. That's a lot of Cougar tape.
Ryan, why do you still have this picture?
Show the other picture, right?
Because I'm going to show you, because I'm setting you up.
Something cooler, baby.
BYU introduced tonight, they introduced the Cougar tail mascot. That looks
road trip to BYU for the Cougar tail.
Where is the Cougar?
You only get the tail, son.
Yeah, it's only tail. Now it does look like well, let's just call it a hot dog weenie sticking out of a bun.
A turd in a blue wrap.
Okay, that too. But I mean, I don't know.
Never seen so many guys so happy just to be around a tail. Just Ryan, bro, take that shit off the fucking screen.
You're gonna stop doing this show one day, and it's because of that picture. And I'm gonna struggle to understand that one.
Fucking Cougar tail.
85% free throws and 47.8 from the 3-point line. I didn't even realize we were that good from the free throw line.
I haven't looked at any numbers, but I was just trusting my eye test.
Damn,
I-
85%. That's
Hey,
pretty damn. That's unreal. Is
LJ,
that the most?
Hey, LJ Cryer looked like cocoa butter tonight. Getting to the middies, everything looked smooth, everything looked comfortable. The step back three, the spot ups, the quick releases, like everything just looked like it was so within himself. And I'm just like, I'm very proud of his growth that he's had in his program. We know we can put the ball in the basket, but how he's kind of grown in our system and how comfortable he looks because it's a different role than he had in last year. Big fan. That guy is a baller for sure.
Yes.
Had a good night.
He looked.
But it looked normal. Like that's a normal night for him. That's what he's capable of doing on a night in and night out basis.
He didn't. He looked like he was in the flow all the time. Like
flow.
sometimes he'll get the ball on the wing and he gets a little bit jumpy, like he's trying to decide what to do. Tonight, the game just came to him, and man. See, the beautiful thing about him and Milos, those guys can both hit for 21, 22, and you don't realize it just because they're just so smooth with it.
A dude who ain't smooth with it is E-Man. If he get 20, it's gonna be loud because it's gonna be boom, 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 boom. It's gonna be just consecutive. Like L, yeah, you right.
Oh
L
yeah, he's
Los,
gonna hit something from the logo.
Yeah,
he's gonna hit
L
some
and-
wild
yeah.
shit.
Yeah, L and Los is gonna be the flow. You ain't gonna realize then you look at the stats, you're like, damn, you had 18. Well, you've been killing us slowly all night, death by paper cut. So, yeah, but L is man, he's very fun to watch play, man. And when he's making shots, just how the other coaching staff, like the other bench, how they're like every time he gets an open look, it's just like just the hopelessness. I love it. I love it.
Had the chef special today at the Katy location.
Boom.
You can do that too. Get you
Boom.
some star pizza.
And boom goes the dynamite.
Just put in an order for the red sweater.
Was it
There you
sweater?
go.
Or
My
can
dog.
you-
It's
is
a
he-
hoodie.
I didn't
Yeah.
know. Hey man, I don't know. Is somebody selling sweat?
Times you got to be locked in on this type of shit, man. You got to
Yeah,
know.
you
I
really
would
do.
be made the 5X for you, brother. You got to get with the program, man.
I know.
Yeah.
Once the
But-
temperature goes over 40, I'll bring it to you.
Goes over 40.
Well, I got them on the plants.
Oh, well, you should. I mean, the entire complex is safe now.
Ryan, you're shitty.
True. It be what it be. What did they call him in high school? Red sweat
I got him on the plants.
or uncircumcised donut?
I don't know. I'm just going through it fast. Shout out to Brad for the Zoolander. Okay, we're done with that.
Boom. See, told you.
Of course, he got it.
And that's the
Milos,
that's the
that's your
dude who does
demographic.
our breakdowns.
Hey,
Yeah.
that is. I'll tell you what. That's Quanta's wife. He makes those guards work on those floaters. Those are very important shots for guards to be able to make at a high level. That's Quanta's wife right there. That's his player development package for sure. For sure.
I was with Kelvin on Sunday, and somebody asked him about this, and he said that they really started to focus on this shot when he was in the NBA, and he would watch Manu Ginobili in practice, and Manu had to make 20 floaters in a row before he could leave practice, and he'd have to make it from the left side and the right side. And it's about, Kelvin was talking about the release point and how that's so important to get right, and that Milos and LJ have really, Jamal was pretty good at that too. And just how they've all worked at it. Well, there's one common thread, right? And it's Quantas. And so you've got Jamal, who was here for 4 years, and then LJ second year, Milo's first year. Well, they've all had Quantas to work with them.
I think you can also tell the work they've put in on their mid-range jumper as well. It's not just they're not spending all their time, sitting at the 3 and just bombing from
Mhm.
deep. They're shooting from all over because I really think that our mid-range game is utilized more than a lot of teams, because a lot of teams
Mhm.
are usually either to the rim or out to 3. But we're able to use the floater and then the mid-range game and hit that 8 to 10-foot jumper. I think Malik had a couple of them tonight that were just money.
Yeah. I'd say we have that luxury because of our ability to offensive rebound.
Right.
Mhm.
And not every team has that luxury. So,
But I
but,
think this year, those mid-range shots have helped our offensive rebounds because
softer
usually,
misses.
usually from 3, they're going to be banging deep,
Mhm.
and they're harder for our big guys to get to.
Accurate.
But I say what makes Coach Quanis, what makes him such a great developer of guards is he's played that position at a high level. He's played it at a high level collegiately and
Yep.
professionally. So when you have that type of, when you know what works in real time, then you know what works. And it's like having a floater as a guard works shit when you're in middle school all the way up to the highest level, which is the NBA. So having that in between game as a guard will only help you.
Yeah.
Will Galen be home for ESPN Game Day?
Yeah, nah, I wish, man, but nah, I just left the crib. We back. We on the road until March. So yeah, it's currently in Dearborn, Michigan.
That ain't
Oh
great.
yeah.
I'm in fucking Dear. I look out my window. All I see is it looked like
Shit.
it's just white outside.
It looks like the BYU roster.
Better for you to say that than me, but
Yeah.
it's just white outside.
BYU got so far ahead today, they started putting black guys in the game. Like
Do they have
they're
any? Do they have
they
any?
have a couple, yeah.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Hoping for good voodoo to counteract the college game day curse.
Yeah. Hey, bro. I knew that shit was coming.
Yeah. I mean, it is your fault.
Galen,
I
when
blamed you
when you're at a place like
for
Dearborn
6 years.
and do they set you loose for food, or do they, bring you some food, or you
I
just
mean,
gotta
they give us money to get food, so yeah, you can get whatever you want. But
he had Popeye's DoorDash 2 weeks
yeah,
ago.
yeah. Shit, I had Popeye's DoorDash last night too. Like, yeah,
they got it up in Dearborn?
Well, yeah.
you know what you're gonna get. So yeah, that's why I just go with the old reliables. But
Absolutely.
on game days and stuff, they do pregame meals and postgame meals, and those are actually very good. So
What kind of spread you'll get?
and we be getting like it's kind of like kava, but it'd be like up here, it'd probably be like Qdoba or somewhere. You can kind of build your own bowl.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah,
Ooh.
elite.
I like that.
Yeah, for sure. I fucking love
Brad,
it.
Walk through with a bucket,
Popeye's
fill it up.
is yeah, the ice bucket from your hotel room. Just
That's what I
fill
would
that
use.
up. Yeah, I know.
And just
Popeyes is
drink
in
from it.
46 states and 30 countries. Popeye's a big deal.
Wow. Damn, I didn't realize that. I
Al
thought it was
Copeland.
still regional.
No,
We're taking over.
Louisiana is we're out there.
Louisiana definitely can infect.
Thought they had some jet lag. It's only 2 hours. Many mental errors they don't normally make. I
What?
don't think in the first 35 minutes. The last
What game-
5 minutes
what
were
game we talking
sloppy, but
Did they
it
watch our
didn't
game?
matter.
They talking about San Diego State game?
They could be talking about Kansas jet lag.
Probably.
Yeah.
But I think
Let's
what
go with
helps
that.
with I think what helps with like being in Houston and going back to Arizona is we get time back. So it's like it's more times for guys to nap, more time for guys to recover. So it's like it'd be different if it was Arizona flying to Texas two games in a row, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but it's just an hour. I mean,
Well,
it's
and
It's
it
an hour.
goes-
They're on Mountain Time.
Yeah.
Okay, so shit, you still get an hour back.
I think
Yeah.
what also goes kind of overlooked and unappreciated is you get to sleep in your own bed.
you
I've
get your
slept in a lot of lot of hotel beds, some good, some most really bad, but they never quite fit like your own bed and just get the.
You don't have that cohesion.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
got that chemistry. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And I know I don't have to blue light my own bed.
Yeah. As long as I'm in the hotel room right damn now. So I know what you mean, brother.
Now you're going to be checking the corners, just making sure there ain't nothing like lobsters in there. Deer bones, no for lobsters.
Lobsters? I ain't know that. It ain't shit out here.
I know that CKS is trying to give Mercy a lot of minutes when he can, but I'd like to see Cordell start to get similar opportunity as far as minutes go. This is earned, and no one will push harder for Cordell than me. I think he's going to be very good, but neither is ready to play, and they're basing who's getting those first minutes on practice, and if Mercy's earned those, great. No issue. Mercy looks like he's trying too hard. Maybe. I mean, he hasn't hit a shot in conference.
And just imagine going from a player, because he was in high
35
school.
a night.
Yeah, he was in high school this time last year, and he was getting the ball every possession.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, our coaching staff, they try to get our guys to understand that, it doesn't matter who scores as long as we score. And when you're a freshman, you hear that, but you don't know what it means exactly. So when a guy like him that's used to, getting buckets and, he hasn't had the offensive success that he, would probably want to have, it bothers him whether he wants to admit it or not, because he's a bucket getter, as it should bother him. So that's probably going to help him on the back end. But that's it. He's trying hard because he wants to do well. That's mainly what it stems from.
And do you think I'll wait till he gets back.
Well, he can hear you.
My bad.
Or not.
You said what, Thomas?
No, I was going to say when a freshman comes in, especially a guy like Mercy, there's a lot of things you got to break down and kind of get him into kind of playing our way. You don't want to take what he does naturally away, but you have to augment that. At this point in his development, they've broken him down, and now's the time that he's trying to put it all back together and get used to it, whether you're doing changes to your shot, whether you're doing changes to the way that you're approaching the game and going out there, and your first reactions when you're on the court. He doesn't get the playing time to get back into the flow of it. So you're trying to put it all together in 2 and 3 minute spurts here at the end of the game.
Yeah. So it's like with the bottom line, he's trying, but could we imagine, like, let's say, like, I want to use him as an example because we probably all know his name, Cooper Flag. Could we imagine how different he'd look if he went to the Celtics as opposed to going to the Orlando Magic? It's like you're going into an organization as a top-ranked guy, and there are guys who are max contract guys that are in front of you. So your opportunities are going to be very limited. And that's more so Mercy. That's kind of the situation that he's in now. It's all the shit that he's learning now. It's so you know what to work on for next year. It ain't for you. Like, granted, if something happens, you'll probably be ready because you'll get the repetitions, but it ain't for you to have success right now. This is for your foundation so we can build on it. But that's kind of the situation he's in. If he would have went to a bad team, he'd probably be putting up probably double figures. But what good is that if he ain't winning nothing? Yeah. So
it could be like what's his name, the dude at UNLV, Dedan Thomas. You can go in and start and be really good, but are you going to reach the height that you want to get? Or And, are you going to just enjoy watching other teams play in the tournament?
Yeah, and it's like, and also you're gonna get coached in a way that is beneficial to you, not only for our program, but for you after you leave our program. And it's like not a lot of programs have that to offer. So I'd say he's in the right spot. They have plans for him. So it's just a matter of if he puts in the work, which he will. And this time next year, his role on that team is going to be drastically different. So
And think
yeah,
about
we
this
can't.
from his point of view. They sold him on this plan 4 years ago.
Yeah.
When he committed 4 years ago, and he stayed committed for 3 years in high school when everybody was coming after him. But they said, you're going to do this. You're not going to play the first year. I don't think they give you any false hope on that. You're going to have to come in and learn. There's going to be players that are better than you. You're going to learn. You're going to develop in this culture, and you're going to get better. And you're good. I mean, Juwan told us Sunday night is that, he talks to those guys and tells them there's a plan. You've got to wait. You've got to be patient. And look what happens when you are. Juwan's a perfect example.
Didn't he commit back around when Q was here?
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Galen was here.
It was a while ago.
He saw like three classes come through.
Yeah, I think he was a sophomore.
Age.
I think he was a sophomore. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like also when you like his Master P, when you got a guy like that, that's your father who, he pretty much experienced in everything. The guy played professional basketball. It's like when you know what goes into the process, nobody can bullshit you. So it's like a lot of times you have kids who have parents and, the coaches, they'll meet with them and they'll tell them everything they recruit the parents. They tell them everything that sounds good to the parents just to get the kid. And it's just like that. And then they transfer. So it's just like, when you know what goes into the process, then you respect it. So it's, telling a kid that you're going to play from day one. It's like, as a sophomore, fuck. If you can tell me right now my son's going to play from day one as a sophomore, your program might be shitty. Like, bottom line, unless you fucking Zion, then okay. But it's like if you're dealing with an anomaly like that, yeah. But
unless you're dealing with a kid who's being talked about as the number one overall pick,
you're dealing with Kobe, LeBron.
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah.
I have some bad news. Bobby Hurley said something nice about Kelvin, and now I'm wavering. He's still an asshole. No, I'm not. Coach Sampson's a legend in this game and the coaching game forever. It was impressive to watch one of his teams perform the way they did. A lot of coaches throw around words like culture, identity, cliches, and stuff, but they have it. You're still an asshole, Bobby.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's a family tradition.
But it really is.
Yeah.
Anyways, any word on Ramon? No. Ramon continues to shoot the hell out of the ball in practice, but it's not in contact. I don't think he's practicing like 5-on-5, things like that. But nothing has changed. So we'll just have to see where that goes. If we wrap up the league title, I want to play the Mercy & Co. in the Big 12 tournament. Even if you don't wrap up the Big 12 title, you play Mercy and those guys and Ryan Elvin and Speedy and 2 student managers and just get out of there. Thanks. Great show as always. Thank you, Lou. Appreciate that.
Roll out Cordell. See Cordell, Mercy,
Said,
Big Said,
Mercy,
J Mac,
Jacob McFarland. Yeah, just put him in.
See, there should be a, like, football has 4 games where kids could play and they can still maintain their red shirt. Should have a deal where there should have a deal where guys can play 20% of
Yeah.
your games.
There is talk of implementing that, but it's the coaches that have decided against it.
Well, coaches want to move guys through their program.
Well,
But with
yes
the
and
portal,
no, but
with the portal being what it is,
right.
I mean, all it would really take would be a player filing a lawsuit about it, and then the NCAA will say, "Oh yeah, well, okay, yeah, well, everybody can redshirt then. You can play an entire season and then redshirt."
Well, they have proven to be kind of wussy on things like that.
I feel like that should go into kind of minutes played too. That should kind of be factored into. You got a guy that's playing, but maybe
Yeah, but I think games is the best way to do it. You can manage that smartly. Not everybody has to be Major Applewhite and screw over Clayton Tune in a meaningless bowl game where you get beat 70-14. Doesn't have to happen that way. Rest all starters in conference tournament. Accurate. They do not even need to fly to Kansas City. Just leave them here.
Well, I mean, they got to go to Kansas City so they can do all the interviews and show off the conference championship trophy.
Very little of that. Anybody that's going to be on the all conference team should go, and then if anybody could potentially be player of the year. I don't think that's going to happen this year, even though
y'all know who our coach is.
No, he's going to go try to win that tournament.
I'm just telling you what I wish.
Kansas City with one thing on his mind: beat everybody who's in front of us.
Mm-hmm. If we played a practice game, he's going to try to win it.
Yeah. Do you think that's the smartest way to do it? To go try to win? And I'm not talking about that guy. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about me and you.
Mm-hmm.
Like I am very anti the conference tournament, but
yeah,
I just don't think there's a need to go wear yourself out in Kansas City to then turn around and potentially play Thursday morning, and not know where you're going or who you're playing or what time. It's a goofy thing.
Even if, let's say with Coach Center, even if you do say that, I wouldn't even say that they don't care about winning, but getting a conference title isn't the highest on our priorities. So let's say we, lose before Sunday. For some reason, I'm a fan of losing before the tournament because everybody's on edge now. If you go in there, win the conference title, everybody's stroking your ego, telling you how good you are. But if you go out there and lose, it's like, okay, it's a nice recentering tool for whatever reason, I think. So, I think whoever loses, that'll get them in line, and they're able to.
When we talked to Kellen last year, he kind of cleared it up for me in saying that if they're keeping score, we're going to try to win it.
Keeping score.
But then he said the thing that made it make sense to me is that we don't want our guys thinking that losses are okay. We want them to do everything. We want them to be mentally dialed in, to be like rabid dogs on a bone, that you're going out there to win every time and keeping the mind sharp. And that made sense to me. That kind of rang true to me. And that's, I would love to, I'll say this. I would think completely differently if we didn't have injury issues the last 4 years.
Yeah.
If we just got beat because we got beat, but the fact that we've had injuries at really inopportune times.
Shit. Let's say we, faith in the good Lord, we're able to finish the year with no injuries. You haven't had any bye weeks. You've played 2 games. That is a big, with the travel and expansion of the league, that is a major toll on your body, man. And it's just like, I'd rather win a natty than win a conference title.
Well, yeah. But I would rather
So,
win
shit.
a regular season title than
I mean,
a
I'm saying conference tournament title. Excuse me. Shit.
Well, fuck yeah. Fuck
I'd
conference
rather lose them both to win a natty.
True.
Yeah,
I don't care.
of course.
Shit, I'm dying on that hill.
Well, I don't think that's a very controversial hill to die on.
I mean,
Galen.
maybe.
Yes, I'm
I'm going
dining
to
on
choose
that
the
hill
national
too.
title. I'm going to
dying
lose.
on that hill.
Yeah, wow. Y'all really go out. I appreciate that. That's manly. I just had one. Enough of this scared shit. Compete every day. Nobody's saying scared. And nobody's saying if you're going out on the floor, you compete, but I don't think you have to compete with your top guys. Kelvin Sampson 100% disagrees with me, and it will never be a problem because my opinion doesn't matter.
He won't agree with you in public, but he sees.
He won't agree with him, but he won't agree with me
guy
in front of his team either.
But he knows what you're trying to say, though. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. That's the smartest dude I ever met.
Random topic. Bill Self post game. I'm talked out. We need to get away from each other. I'll tell you that point blank. I thought this would be a great opportunity to do some team bonding, but it hasn't happened. I can't imagine
Bill,
my head coach.
You just keep bringing out the money printer for just fucking losers.
Here's what you need to do. Brad, you're wrong. You need to go for a hike and get him some ice cream. Everything will work out at that point.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I saw that team last year lay down,
tap out.
They just went full goatsy, and they're doing it again this year.
Yep.
They've got some of the same players, but they got different players. I mean, the guys who left last year were the guys that were supposed to be the problems. So they brought in a new high-paid group of gunners, and it's the same thing. So all my fingers are pointing directly at Mr. Self. This is your problem.
Yep. The guy who runs that Field of 68 is Jeff Goodman, who is alleged to be the smartest guy in the media in basketball. And he tweeted out, the key in this era of college hoops isn't just accumulating talent. It's putting together a team where the pieces fit.
Really, Jeff?
That's been the case the entire time basketball has been played.
But I feel like that's more so harder to achieve in the NIL era.
It is.
So
it's not different.
Shit, I feel like it's a lot different to do that. It's a lot harder to do that today.
I think it's harder it's more challenging, yes. But the reason why it's more challenging is because it makes coaches and assistants work harder. The one reason why I think it's not as challenging as some might think is that these guys know these players for years and years, and they maintain relationships even when the players go to other schools. So when it comes time to recruiting kids out of the portal, smart coaches who still have relationships also still have their notes and mental faculties to know that this guy might not be the best player on the planet, but he's a guy that fits our program. Guys that we get guys who fit the program. Because, we've talked about this a lot, that at this level, there's not a whole lot that really separates most of the players physically. But there's a huge amount that separates them mentally.
Nice.
And you got to know those ballers. You got to have a Rolodex of those kids and a database filled with the guys that you know that you're going to go after when and if they hit the portal. But Kansas just goes and gets, the shiniest possible recruit, and hey, let's pay them some money, and they're going to come here and win because
for Kansas.
Because, hey, we can pay more than everybody. Well, you might be able to pay more than everybody, but everybody can pay something. So they're getting gutters too. That and the fact that we're in the league and we run this shit.
Talk your shit, Towns. Talk your shit, man.
Kansas about to be out of the tournament. Easy on that. They were a 4 seed in the projection Saturday, which is outrageous. They should have never been a 4 seed or projected for. They're a 7, 8, 9. I mean, they could go and win 2 games, and I don't think that's out of the realm. They could also not win another game in the regular season. But we'll just see. It's fun to watch.
They just have so many opportunities to make up for the games that they lost.
They do. They can.
So
I mean,
it's
and they
kind
could.
of hard to even, a team like that to.
They're a program that could go and win 4 days in a row in Kansas City. I think they'll be in that 5th through 8th spot, so they get 1 bye, and they'd have to win 4 games. I think they could do it.
And they're also a team that could have like 7 guys just walk out the program.
Well, yeah, as long as all those checks have cashed. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they wrap up the season at home against Tech, here against us, and then at home against Arizona. So, welcome to the Big 12, bitches.
That is a rough way to end the season.
Shit.
Latest intel on Koa Pete. Well, Koa Pete has seen
he dragging his fucking feet, bro.
Well, no, he's not. If he's wanting to come here, there's no room. They could find a way, but there are limits. There's scholarship limits. He had the opportunity in November, but he has seen U of H beat Baylor, U of H beat Arizona, U of H beat Arizona State. Last time you played Texas twice last year, you beat them both times. All the teams that are in his top 5 or whatever it is, U of H is dominated. Maybe Tech is in there, and so they get the win for this year. You want him, but I think if it doesn't happen, you're very happy with what you have.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why I hate when guys try to act too cautious.
So he's got a lot of things going on in his head. One is his family, coaches. They want him to be in Arizona. I mean, that just makes the logical sense. Coming all the way to Texas, can't see those games.
Then go to
NIL
Arizona.
He does not want to go in the school in Arizona, is what I'm told. But Baylor, yeah, I can't remember if Texas.
Stay away from them kids, man.
But, he just hesitated a little bit in November. And I mean, we're talking like a day. And CNAC came in and took that spot. And that has pushed his decision all the way, out to March or April. Just that one day in November. And, you can't say, hold on, CNAC, let me see if Koa Pete's gonna. You can't do that. So, I mean, they obviously did what was the smart thing, and you've had a relationship with these coaches for years.
It sounds like the tough thing is he knows where he wants to be. He doesn't know if he can be there at the same scenario. Well, I mean, there is a spot, but it would be a big step back financially, or it'd be a step back financially from anywhere else.
Well, I mean, there's a limit to your roster spots, and there's no roster spot.
Well,
now,
if we go up to
house
15.
settlement, right? If the house settlement comes in, does U of H allow basketball to go to 15? I think, but not 100% on that. There have been indications they're not going to.
Well,
he's the 5-star, Andy.
4, I think, high 4, maybe
High
5.
four, yeah, I think
But
he was about when I seen. But it's like, man, if you and your family, y'all have met our coaches, and y'all have seen our body of work over the years. If that ain't enough to get you on board, fuck the games you want to go to. What you want the best for your kid. If y'all ain't on board, then we don't need you. Period.
True.
I am intrigued how will game plan for Momciliovic, Jefferson, and Kurt Jones. I'm guessing this is a Kellen scout,
Oh yeah.
and he will not sleep for 2 days prepping for it. They'll be ready. I think this is why you get into coaching, you know, for games like this, for spotlights like this. You had it last Saturday. You have it this Saturday. Go ahead.
Galen, how much really changes in our scouts, or how much really changes in our defense?
Shit, a lot. Depending on, like I said, which guard has what strengths, it determines who's matched up on them. It influences the coverages, whether you're sliding, whether you're chasing them over the top, whether you're blitzing. So, but there's a lot of changes that are still within the system. So you're not doing anything particular that's outside of your norm. It's just
Right.
okay, like so it's not really that difficult, but sometimes you kind of fall into a rhythm of guarding certain guys who have certain strengths, and then you play a team like Iowa State where they got a group of guys who might have a set of different strengths, and you kind of go to the alternate and whatnot, which is all of our defenses are good. But once you get in the rhythm and seeing a steady dose of a certain thing, you kind of get used to it. So, but all the things that we do are within the system. Is never a guy or a coach that's trying to reinvent the wheel. Nobody's trying to be the smartest guy in the room. We're trying to do things the simplest way, the most effective way, and the ways that can be repeated, like the easiest and at the highest percentage, I guess.
Right. With those other three guys, I mean, those are the guys that are going to do damage on the scoreboard. But the guy that I want to stop Lipsy. You've got to stop that PG and get him to pick the ball up.
Yeah.
If he's dribbling around and trying to cut through the defense, I mean, you're going to be chasing him, then you're behind the 8 ball chasing everybody else.
But I think it's more so with him is kind of coming after his mentality, like not giving him any confidence early, because it's kind of his role is obviously when you're dealing with good high level teams such as their PGs. When his mindset and Los, when they're in attack mode, whether they're having success or not, the team can feed off of that mentality. So
Right.
you want to kind of just neutralize him from jump, like, hey, bro, you ain't getting shit tonight. Ain't shit easy. And then what Momciliovic, whatever the fuck his name is, what he did to us last year is like those two are the ones that I don't know too much about Kurt Jones. I know he's a solid player, but Momciliovic and Lipsy, those are the two guys that I want to hone in on, because those two guys can influence the team.
Right.
And we all agree this is a really good team. It's really well coached. They play the right way. We kind of adopted them as our second team last year. I went to Iowa State and it was fantastic. And Momciliovic hit that shot, that fade away. I thought was like,
shot.
holy shit. Yeah, this kid should not be doing that as a freshman. But they've struggled a little this year, but they're still in the top 10.
Yeah, injuries. But there's a guy on my team. He went to Iowa State, and he kind of tells me about like some of the stuff they have to do in their practices, and it's like those guys and us cut from the same shit. It's like no nonsense, earn everything. Like it's accountability, no stone unturned when it comes to that. So yeah, those guys they're made of all the right things.
John Clark, who committed to Texas, was also impacted by the CNEC decision. Okay.
That's why, don't wait.
Mm.
Thing with
Well,
one substantial, which is substantial, don't wait. It could be gone.
There's a top line on your recruiting board. There's a second line, and then there's a second line. And John Clark was on that second line. I think he's a better fit at Texas than he would have been here. But
So you're telling me there's a hint of softness.
I didn't say that.
Well, I just think that anybody goes to
But John
Texas,
Clark, that's the kid. Is that the kid? Is he from Houston?
I think so.
He goes to like Legacy or what's it don't matter. Fuck.
That's the spirit. He's in Branson, Missouri. He was at Klein Kane. So he was a Houston
okay,
kid,
yeah.
but he's now at a prep school, basically.
He played with
in Branson.
One of my kids that I.
That's what it said.
Wow.
Chilling out at Dollywood.
Maybe he's got a show. Yeah, Hollywood. Well, that's in Tennessee.
The Dollywood Showtimers.
We have not talked about this, but Milo Shuzan had a turnover in this game with about 16 minutes to play.
Got him.
And it was his first turnover in 115 minutes on the court.
That's insane. At this level, that's insane.
3 games worth of time on, not games, not 115 minutes of game time, 115 minutes of when he was on the court. And I think 20-something assists in that span.
Yeah.
And so when Juwan told us that he had 12 turnovers in 14 games, I went and looked, and 4 of those were against Tech.
Yeah.
So he only had 8 turnovers
Right.
in the other 13 games in the league. I'm like, holy crap. And, you know, a lot of people were really down on him early. And he's proven himself and proven himself and proven himself. And it's just been a complete all-star, really, in the last 6 or 7 weeks, almost since conference play started.
I think everybody, you're not going to see it. You're not going to see it from the, well, you might see it from outsiders, but from here, from inside here with us that watch and live and die with this team every game. There's something extra special about what he's done and what he's doing and what he's gone through of having to develop in the shadow of Jamal Shed. And then also to a lesser extent, Galen and Dickey, because that's a high bar to have to live up to. And then you're having to live up to fill in the shoes of the conference player of the year, defensive player of the year, guy that's got everything, every kind of title possible. And he's got to do it on his own. He doesn't have that other mentor to watch and to play off of. He's just had to just kind of soak it in. So his learning curve has been the steepest of any of our guards ever. Well, besides Galen. So it makes it extra special to see his accomplishment where he is now and how far he's come. Because I mean, most normal people, that weight breaks you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he got in the microwave and has done it in well less time.
Yeah.
And if he's here next year, just imagine how good he's going to be with another year of development.
I think he kind of reminded me of a guard that Iowa State had. He was his name was Monte Morris. And I think his assist to turnover ratio was like 8-1. It was something crazy like that. Like he was like same kind of build, 6'2", 6'3" guard, just under control, poised, unrattled. He was never rushed. But I think on the broadcast they asked Coach Sam, what is one word that you would use to describe Los? And he was like boring. He just does everything you need him. Nothing flashy about him. Just vanilla ice cream. No sprinkles. Nothing else. Just vanilla. And that works for me. And but I think early on, the reason why people were kind of having issues with him is like you can see the hesitancy.
Right.
Like it was so apparent in his body language and how he was playing. And this is like we can live with you making mistakes, but with a different type of mentality. So I just think with Los, man, I'm so happy for him that he's having a success, but everything with him just starts with his mentality from tip off.
Right.
Okay. I think we have done enough. We are closing in on midnight, and people have to work, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So let's do some final thoughts and maybe finish this up in the next hour or so. Go ahead, Brad. Galen, I don't care.
You want to do the final thoughts?
I'll go first, Brad. Yours is usually more extravagant than mine. Shit, good road win. On to the next one. OneSubstantial.com. Get your hoodies. On to the next one. No beauty contests in the Big 12. I'm just glad to see E-Man making shots. That's a beautiful young man holding up that wearing that black hoodie right there, man. I just Jesus Christ.
You know where you're going with that.
Come on, Tabs. Well, yeah, man, on to the
My
next.
dang son, you've been on the road too long.
Get that shit off the screen. But yeah, man, on to the next one. Big one coming up. I can't wait to see the clash of two like-minded programs. Regardless of where that game is played, that is going to be a dogfight.
Yeah, and it's weird to see a team that you're fighting for titles with, going down to the wire last year, coming down to the wire this year, conference title, championship game last year, that they play so well and they play the right way that I actually have respect for them.
Yeah.
And not just absolute disdain and hate. So tonight, big time professional win. Did exactly what you needed to do. I love to see it. Excited to see where this team is right now mentally. I'm really looking forward to Saturday. This is why we came here. So let's go. Let's go get it. Everybody who's going to game day, have a great time. Be loud.
Sure.
Throw stuff at people if you want. I think that would be kind of cool. Get arrested. Is that what you're supposed to do?
Do not take Tom's advice.
Generally in life, do not.
Come on,
take
man.
his
The
advice.
the bologna sandwiches downtown ain't bad.
No, they're really not. Unless you don't like bologna.
I mean, if you have to stay overnight, you get a Nutty Buddy and some oatmeal pies.
I'm sorry, you get a what?
Get some Nutty Buddies, some oatmeal pies.
Hey, yo.
A Nutty Buddy.
Fucking Cougar tail.
Yeah. Do y'all think Mercy should have redshirted? No.
No.
First off, you don't have the depth to redshirt multiple guys at this point, especially with Jacob McFarland hurt, Ramon being kind of out of the lineup for most of the year. You just don't have the depth to do that.
If Ramon was healthy, they probably
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe, but it just
I think this is good for him though, just because it's like probably the first time in his recent memory things on the court might not have gone his way. And when you're a kid like that who's used to scoring a lot of points, you're gonna do things in the off season that are kind of gonna get shit back to the way that you want them to go. You're gonna take all the things that you've learned on, they told you that you need to improve on, and you're gonna work on that in the off season. So, like I said, this developmental year for him, I feel like it's very critical for the foundation to be laid for him to turn into the player that we all are aware of that he can be.
You just see that Kelvin this week just said the first thing you do in this program is fail. And then you learn to overcome that.
Yeah.
And these are kids who have never been in that situation. They've always been the best, even on their AAU teams. They're the best. I mean, they're the best of the best. And these guys aren't going. They're not. It's not like they're stuck at a high school where it's just them and a bunch of dudes. These guys are playing in prep schools with some of the great players. They're playing AAU with great players, and these guys are above that. So you come here and you get humbled. and that's a good thing. It's a huge thing.
Oh, I gotta have a slice of humble pie.
Absolutely. You might have to choke it down.
Yeah, best served cold.
You learn.
What sign do you want to see at game day?
Ooh.
Just that. Or we have some good ones, actually.
I ain't going that route yet.
My recommendation is don't ever go that route.
Start piece a little bit of bacon. A little bit of bacon, you know.
All right. Thank y'all so much for watching. OneSubstantial.com. You got to get it tonight. You risk, if you wait till the morning, you risk Galen getting up early and shutting that down. He's not going to shut it down until he wakes up. Get it tonight. OneSubstantial.com. The Houston versus everyone. The Houston Strong. Hoodies in red, black. The Houston Blue.
A lot of
stuff. Some of it I wouldn't wear, but most of it I really like. My mother got a couple hoodies the other day. So she's happy. CougFans.com, GoCoogs.com, OneSubstantial.com, Star Pizza, Guard You. Everything's pretty good. Saturday, Iowa State, game day, big day. Big day. You win that game and you're right there. I mean, you're right there.
Knocking.
Yep. All right. Thank you all so much. Appreciate you watching. And it's midnight. Hot damn. GoCoogs.com.